Hello, hello. It says I'm live. I'm going to trust it because I can't do anything else. Oh, how's everybody doing? It's the first Saturday episode of Mike's Wooden Things and Stuff Live, which is how I'm going to do these now. I'm going to give it a few seconds for people to meander their way in. I'm going to talk to future people that are watching this later while I'm waiting for that to happen. Welcome to Saturday. Welcome to the shop. Fans voted this week for Magnolia as the turning blank that we're going to try to make something out of. So we'll see how that goes shortly. I've never turned Magnolia before, and I'm not very good at this in the first place. Chris Pinnell, like clockwork, my man. Good stuff. This show is the one where Chris Pinnell makes fun of me and reminds me of all of the mistakes I've ever made in the shop while I'm trying to do something on the lathe. But it's all in good fun, I hope. Team Magnolia won it this week. So we got it chucked up already over there on the lathe, and we're just going to wait for a few minutes to get that number to climb up a little bit. Once it gets to 4 or 5, I'll probably get going because that's about all I can expect from these. Maybe Saturdays will work out better for people. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see and find out. I know what's not working out for people is the Mike's Wooden Things and Stuff cooking show. Because that I put up a cooking video and it's people are not fans of the cooking video, but it is what it is. So I had a good time making the pork chops and they were delicious. So I don't really care that much that people aren't watching it. Yes, and also rooting for the explosions, Chris, I know. But you don't want me to explode the bowl that you're encouraging me to make. You want me to explode a bowl of some crap wood that you didn't vote for, probably, I'm guessing. You want to see the sharpening stand while we're waiting for people to roll in? Here's the progress on the sharpening cabinet. It's coming along. It's got a bottom. It's got drawer runners. It's all glued up and sanded. And I just need to mill up a top for it and then make doors and drawers. So it's coming along slowly but surely. Pretty happy with it. We get 3 people. So is that time to go over to the lathe when we got 3? 3's probably good. Let's go over to the lathe. I want to get turning so I can get eating. Because wife, I think, is ordering something. I don't know. She said she wants to order in, but doesn't want pizza. And that's basically the option that we have here for ordering in. So I think she might be doing the skip the dishes thing for the first time tonight. And I don't know what she's gonna get, but I'm gonna find out after I'm done hanging out with you guys. Let's spin up some wood. We'll see what happens. Come on. Oh, I blew a box fan this week, so I'm down to 1 box fan. All right, there's Magnolia. Sorry for all the jostling. Magnolia. It's a very yellow wood. But we'll see what it looks like when we get into it. I'm gonna just actually put you guys over here. I'm not doing anything super fancy with today's bowl. I don't think I'm gonna do any fancy profiles or anything. I kind of want a popcorn bowl. I have no idea, Drake Leroy, whether Magnolia is a soft or a hardwood. It is a hardwood, as in it is a deciduous tree. But I've never turned it before. This is all brand new experiment, so we're gonna find out once I start cutting how hard it is. It's very yellow. It kind of it looks like maple a little bit, but we'll see what it looks like when we get into it. And maybe explode it. Maybe hurt ourselves. Who knows? Got my bowl gouge fixed up. So last week I had to do carbide only because my bowl gouge was all messed up, but I got it fixed. So we'll start with that today. All right, let's go. I need a drink of water before I get started here. Always stay hydrated in the shop. I keep a water bottle that has water in it at all times. Tony Lopez is here! Yes, my man Tony. I guess Saturdays is better for Tony Lopez. All right, let's dig into this Magnolia. See what it's like. I don't know. No idea whatsoever. I don't even think I've ever even seen anybody turn. I watch a fair number of people making stuff on their lathes, and I don't even think I've seen anybody use Magnolia before. But it was at the store, and it was about the right price I like paying for my bowl blanks. This one was $13.50 Canadian. I kind of hover between the $10 and $20 range on my bowl blanks most of the time when I can. And Magnolia sounded interesting, so let's let's see how this goes. Am I going the right way? No, I'm not. And I got an eyelash in my eye before I even start. That's interesting. Okay. Oh, wobbling a little bit. Cut's nice. Yeah, it kind of it's like a yellower maple. Except I don't really like cutting maple. It's softer than maple, but it looks like maple. There might be some neat things happening in here. I don't like that. Yeah, I actually, if that was on both sides, I probably would have done this the other way and left it, but I don't want it just on one side, so I'm going to get rid of it. Huh. I think this is going to be my popcorn bowl if I don't wreck it. It's about the right size for a popcorn bowl. Huh. Yeah, this is cool. Cuts a little bit like cherry. Which is nice because cherry cuts good. There's not too much excitement in here, but that can be nice. I'm just kind of, at this point, I'm just looking for a general shape that I like. I do like having a little bit of flare out at the top, which I've got. This is getting actually pretty close to being a shape that I can live with. So we'll just refine it a little bit until I get, let's see, you guys can't really see the profile from over there. This is where we're at. Sort of a nice little sweep through here, and then bring it down. We'll just blend that all together so it's nice and smooth. We'll sand the outside, get it flipped around. That felt like a pretty good cut. That's good enough to start sanding, I think. Sanding will blend that together a little bit. Ah, it turned into kind of a bell on me. That's okay. We're just having fun. We're just making it into whatever it wants to become today. That's what's happening. Let's let's get some sanding done. This is the part where I've been told that this part gets loud, so stand by the mute button if you got one. Let's see, we got any questions? Drake Leroy's got some questions here. Hold on. If you're shaping the bowl with high-speed steel tools, would you start working from the bottom to the sides? I kind of go in both directions. Generally you want to have some wood behind the cut. So you'll see here, like when I was coming this way and I got to the top, it breaks off pretty bad. And it's the same thing if you're going this way around the bottom. But you end up getting rid of that with sanding and stuff later anyway. So I don't have a preference on which direction I move, actually. I'll take the bowl if you don't like it. All right, Tony called dibs if I'm giving it away. Oh, Chris Pinnell lost the feed. Am I still rolling for people? The counter's still going, so let me know if I'm not. Well, I don't know how you would know to let me know if I'm not live. Okay, Tony Lopez says I'm good. Hopefully Chris can find the feed again, because he's fun to have around. Let's start with breaks up a little bit. Okay, well, I don't know that there's much I can do about that. My kid's probably playing a video game online or something. It's hurting my bandwidth. Oh, Chris is back. All right, here we go. Let's go all the way down to 80 to get started. Just to get that shape a little more refined. I like it. It turned into kind of a bell. It's interesting. It is not an exciting wood, though, so far. But we're having fun. This gets loud, I'm told, so get ready with your finger on the mute button. Should probably make sure my bottom's flat before I go too much into the sanding phase of this. Because it's probably not. I'll put you guys back over here. Yeah, if you're not here, raise your hand. I like that. Hopefully the feed is going all right. I've never been told that I have choppiness problems with my feed. It never had it drop out, but that doesn't mean anything. There's some interesting streaking type things in here, but the grain itself is pretty regular. Let's put a recess in the bottom. We'll put some oil on it. We'll take a little break to have a beverage. And then we'll flip it around. It's gonna make a nice little popcorn bowl, methinks. Assuming that I don't go through the bottom of it. Got my damn tailstock on the lathe again. For no reason. How's everybody doing out there? Still people hanging out? Getting to the good part. Howard's time. Let's bring you guys in. This is always fun. See what we're actually dealing with here. It's very pale. It's very, very pale. It's got some interesting little colorations through it. Huh. It does smooth up nice, but it's a very pale, it's an interesting wood. But not in like the exciting way that like walnut is interesting. I don't hate it. Let's let that soak in for a little bit. We'll go have a little sit. And then we'll flip it around. Yeah. Interesting is the right word for this. Come on. Let's go have a sit. Oh, maybe I'll have a beer. Is it beer time already? Is my boy Beckham here tonight? Who's here? Roll call. I guess I could just scroll back in the chat, see who's here. Dumb question. Oh, Marv's got dumb questions. How do those sanding circles stay fastened on? It's yeah, it's Velcro. It's hook and loop, because Velcro is a trademark. The tailstock equals elbow biter. This is true. How many bowls does a carbide last before you have to roll it to another face? Depends on the wood you're cutting, how hard you're cutting. I have not, I'll tell you that I have not replaced the carbide cutters. I replaced the square one because I got a big chip in it, not because it went dull. But I haven't replaced either the chisel tip one or the circle one yet on my lathe tools. All right, we're back at the point where Chris Pinnell died. Well, he didn't die. That sounds bad. Have I tried an adapter to connect the dust extractor hose to the sander exhaust port? I've not, because I just haven't looked around. I got a new shop vac a couple of months ago now, and I haven't found the right size adapters for the stuff yet. What does Magnolia smell like? It doesn't really smell like anything. It doesn't have the rich it's pretty bland smelling. Let's put it that way. A little like maple, I guess. Like it doesn't really smell. It doesn't have the rich aroma like either a softwood or a walnut or a cherry. When to mortise, when to tenon. Yeah, I'm not. Chris is probably more capable of answering that question than I am. I've never done not a mortise on a bowl, just because I don't have a set of super jaws so that I can flip it around and then take the tenon off after I've hollowed out the inside. So I just always put a mortise and then I make it a little decorative couple of circles in it so that it looks like a design element instead of a just a thing I had to do in order to be able to turn it. Yeah, Magnolia is interesting. There's a decent choice for this week. We'll see what happens when I turn it around. Expecting a spruce pine smell? No. That's the thing. Is it sometimes I'll just run a piece of pine over my jointer just to have that aroma in my shop. When I don't need a piece of pine at all, I'll just like make some shavings with a piece of pine just to get that, or cedar. Cedar smells amazing. But no, not too much smell coming off of the Magnolia. Should we flip it around? See what happens on the inside? Where are we at for time? 36? That's not too bad for the outside of a bowl. Outside's always easier than inside. That's why these streams go for about an hour and a half. It's about 1/3, 2/3. But I have lots of battery this week as opposed to last week. So should be good on that front. Let's flip it around. This is where Chris reminds everybody that I sometimes get the directionality wrong on the chuck, and sometimes the bowl falls and hits the lathe and all that kind of stuff. So go ahead, Chris. Don't forget the towel. Yes. Thank you. See, he can be helpful sometimes too, that Chris Pinnell fella. Most of the time he just makes fun of me though. Hey Chris, tell me about the time that I dropped the bowl and chipped the edge of it, like as I was taking it off for the last time of the day. Like the finished bowl I dropped on the bed of the lathe, which is where this towel concept came from. Somebody was like, why don't you put something on the bed of the lathe? Yeah, that's a good idea. I didn't do that because I'm not smart enough to think about that before somebody tells me about that. See if I can remember which way they go. That's tighter. Okay, so that is tight. Okay. Figuring it out, Pinnell. All right, I already forgot. Nope. Wobbly. There it goes. Towel. I'm gonna get me a one-handed chuck one of these days. I swear. I'm gonna get that towel and there we go. That's running true. Okay. Twice. Yeah, just shut it. We all saw. Okay, certainly did happen twice. All right. Whoa. Sorry about that. There's unstable. There we go. Let's see what this turns into. Back to the gouge. Hopefully it doesn't come off. Yeah, that cut's nice. This might actually go relatively quickly. That cut's really nice. Even going into the face. I saw somebody say something. Drake, do you ever drill a hole to be a depth indicator? I should do that. I generally don't. But you're right. That is a good idea. I don't believe in good ideas. That sounds terrible. No, that one I do know about. I just find that it doesn't really. It's more of another step that I don't really find that necessary. If I was gonna be trying to get to an exact depth, then I probably would do that. But most of the time, I'm just getting to a depth that feels comfortable and looks all right. So. I usually do this stage in a couple of steps as well, because I find myself getting impatient. For those of you who might be new, I tend to start digging harder than I should because I get excited, and so I try to slow myself down, and we will end up taking another break here momentarily so that I can just calm myself a little bit. But this stuff is pretty fun to cut. that's where I feel myself digging, getting excited. So that's where we take another break. Where are we at? We are at, we're already down about 1 5/8 inches. Tonight we are going deep. That sounds weird. The last few bowls have been sort of shallowish. This one has a lot more depth available to it. So we're gonna go to 2 3/4 probably tonight. And I'm at 1 5/8 inches. So what am I, halfway there? Something like that. I'm not a math guy. Oh. But when I start feeling myself get excited and anxious, time to step away for a minute. Anybody talking? I felt that slow down advice, Marv says. Dropped my tripod the other day. Yeah, but I did not, Drake, I did not get the stand for the Laguna. I could not convince myself that a couple of pieces of metal for the lathe to sit on was worth $800 or whatever it is, $500 that they wanted for the lathe. So I repurposed some old cabinets to put it on instead for maybe $100. I actually have a video on my channel about my new lathe station, and it shows how I repurposed some old cabinets to make a lathe stand for significantly less money than an actual lathe stand. And it works fine as long as you get it the right height. You don't need a purpose-built stand from Laguna. It would be nice to have mobile, like if I had to wheel it in and out of its spot or something. I would probably invest in something like that, but I needed a permanent place to set it up at the back of my shop, so I built one. Yeah. How's everybody doing? Everybody loving it? Happy Canadian Thanksgiving to my fellow Canucks. A bowl turner on another channel dries his green wood in a microwave. That's interesting. Like after he does the rough turn, he puts it in the microwave to get it dry enough to do the finish turn. I've never turned green wood. I don't know what all the fuss is about. I imagine it's probably super fun because it's all soft and gooey, but I just turn things. I turn blanks to done. Chris Pinnell has done the microwave bowl trick. So are we talking like you get a log, you chop a chunk out of it, you rough turn it super thick, and then you microwave it to finish drying it out so that you can finish turn it like quicker? Is that the microwave bowl trick? I'm unfamiliar, obviously. Okay, good. It makes sense because instead of, like, I've seen people that put them in paper bags with shavings and stuff for months. So it makes sense that you would want to speed up that process if you could. I imagine it would be touchy though. Like you would run the risk of it drying too quickly and cracking, wouldn't you? Obviously, I don't know these things. All right, that's about enough of break number 2. Maybe we can push all the way to the end on this last little chunk. Super low for 20 minutes at a time. Keep weighing it to see when the moisture stops leaving. See, these are smart things that I'm gonna try to remember if I ever do these things. Like the towel on the bed rails. All right, let's get this bowl done. I wonder what wife ordered to eat. It's a decent view for you guys, eh? Let me know if you would prefer different angles or something. I will do what I can. I don't have a ton of room over here to be setting up the camera, but it's a fairly small tripod and it's just my phone, so it can fit places. Maybe she's making teriyaki pork chops. Ah, yeah, you're one of like 7 people that watched that video, Chris. People did not. You and Tony Lopez, I think, are the only 2 people that actually might have enjoyed that video. Oh, Marv watched it. He's not gonna say he liked it, but he did watch it. What did I say I could go to? Like 2.5, 2 3/4? To be safe and not make a funnel. No, I'm gonna grab a piece of tape. That's what I'm gonna do. Where's my tape? Oh, I took my blue tape upstairs. Why did it? Don't take your blue tape out of the shop and use it other places because it won't go back. Let's say that mark is the safe area. So I got another inch to go. Lots of room left. Go on. Don't get excited, but be serious about your cuts. Now we're being serious about our cuts. Half inch left. Once we get down to where I have marked as the safe zone, we're going to pull the carbide out and thin out the sidewalls a little bit, steepen that curve, flatten the bottom, and we're done. Getting close. I think I'm about a 1/4 inch away. Maybe 3 more decent depth cuts. And then we can, ooh, that's pretty thin up there already. Yeah, all right. Going well. It's going well. Yes, right on my mark. So I should stop pushing. Now we get it smooth, hopefully. So we'll go to carbide for a little bit, because I can thin out, not by a ton. That's not a bad job there, Mikey. That's not a bad job. I'm going to give myself a fresh face on the circle. I don't know if I had to or not, but sometimes it's nice to just start with a fresh face. Right there, a little bit through there. All right. I might actually not have to do that much. I don't trust myself through here. Might have to get all these little ridges out with sandpaper, but that's not a terrible shape. Not a terrible shape. Not terrible is what we go for on this channel, by the way. starting to do that thing where I hold my breath while I'm cutting, which means that I'm scared of something, which means I should stop what I'm doing. That's still right there. Where's my pencil? But I think that might be the last thing I need to take care of. Just this little ridge right here. Kind of blend it into the rim and then down into the bottom. And then I'm gonna call this done. Woo! That is a good enough popcorn ball for me. I could maybe do a little more there. How risky do I want to be? Let's get a little tighter radius on that bottom bend. Oh, getting greedy. Getting greedy. It's starting to bite, and I don't like it. Slow. Slow. All right, I'm done. Sanding. Sanding. After drink. Not going to be able to get in there with the sander, so just do it by hand. There are a couple of bits that I am not going to be able to sand through, but I am also not going to try to cut them away. So this bowl is going to be what it is. I think it'll still be fine. It's my popcorn bowl. Be careful it doesn't get too hot while I'm sanding. I'm always hot while I'm sanding. No, you're right. I should probably keep my eye on that. Now, for my own personal popcorn bowl, I'm okay with that level of imperfection. After all, I am still practicing and learning and things, right? Go easy on yourselves, people. All right, let's see what the inside looks like with some finish on it. Yeah, you know what? I've got worse bowls in my life than that. That's for sure. Yep. I'm okay with that. Let's go sit down. Take a little break, have a little chat. We'll push another layer of oil and wax into that guy, and then we'll take it off. We'll be done. We'll see who's here. Oh, there's more people here than there was last time I took a break. Calls for another beer. Because this one is just about done. I do not endorse having beers while you're using power tools, by the way. Yeah, can't really say anything more than that. That's Jesse1119. I remember you. Drake Leroy, yes, you did hear some vibration. Once I get over the tool rest too far with the carbide tools, it does tend to chatter a little bit, which is what gives me those little tear spots. Yeah, hold my breath when my camera's about to take a shot. Yeah, because you're too damn picky about your photos. Roughly how much more sanding is needed with carbide tip versus conventional tip? Significantly more sanding with carbide tools. At least the way that I'm capable of using them. Significantly more sanding. You can actually, if you get a nice cut with a traditional gouge, you don't even need to sand it. It's like you used a hand plane on a flat piece of wood. Like, you don't need to sand that now. I'm not that good with traditional tools yet, but that's the idea behind them. Most people still sand, but I mean, on the inside of bowls, when I'm finishing them up with a carbide tool, I will start at 80 grit sandpaper after that and go all the way up to, what did I go to? 340. Whereas if I get a nice clean cut with a traditional gouge, I might start at 150 at the lowest, probably going to start more like 220. Oh, that's interesting. If it gets too hot while I'm sanding, it can crack or warp the bowl itself. These are good things to know. I'm glad that actual people who know what they're doing come to these shows and help me. Because that's how we get better at stuff. You know, like, communicate. Help each other. We can make it my popcorn bowl. Yeah, no, it's my popcorn bowl, Tony. I'll make a popcorn bowl for you one day. Imperfections make it mine. It's true. It's true. There's the point of handmade is that it's not made by a computer. So, well, let's not go overboard. Start calling it masterpiece. it's a nice bowl. I don't do them. I don't do them that deep most of the time. Most of my bowls are shallower, sort of dish type things, and that one. I'm not used to going that deep and sweeping around. Jesse1119, the thing with traditional is you need to ride the bevel of the tool to get a cut. That's when you start getting a good ribbon cutting. Yeah, and it feels like heaven. When you're riding that bevel around a nice sweeping curve and it's got just like ribbons just flying over your right shoulder. There's nothing that feels like it in woodworking other than maybe taking like a wafer, like paper thin, nice fluffy shaving with a really sharp smoothing plane. But yeah, when you get that bevel riding on a traditional tool and that cut is coming and the ribbons are flying past you, it's glorious. It's glorious. I feel sometimes I get a couple of those throughout the course of a bowl. The idea is to get more of those, to get better and better and better, so that's the norm, as opposed to, oh, that was a good cut. Wow, you know, they should all, or most of them should be good cuts. You shouldn't be surprised when you make a nice sweeping cut and it comes out nice and smooth and you're like, oh, what just happened? Like, that's the goal, is that you don't get surprised by that anymore. Where are we at? 122. Let's get the last coat of oil pressed into the inside of that bad boy and we'll take it off and have a look. It's kind of plain. I want to say Magnolia is not going to be high on my list when I go shopping for woods. But you don't know that until you give it a go. So it's a nice popcorn bowl. There's not a lot of excitingness happening in it, but the shape's nice and it's a perfectly adequate piece of implementation for the couch. All right, let's go get one more coat buffed in. We'll have one more beer and I will bid you adieu. It smooths up nice, and yeah, it's a perfectly adequate bowl. Yep, I should have my mask on if I'm spinning. Towel. I remembered. Which way do these things go? This way? Nope. Come on. There. Yeah. Yeah. It's okay. It's all right. Come on. I'm okay with that. For not doing too many like deepish bowls. I'm okay with that. Let's get another beer. We will finish up the show. If there's any other questions or hints or tips or anything that people want to share about this stuff, we'll give it another, I don't know, 5-6 minutes. If you weren't here at the start, that's my new sharpening station that I'm building. It's a shaker style thing. You get two doors going in the bottom, 2 drawers going in the top. Got to mill up a top for it still. It's like a frame and panel shaker style dealie that I'm going to put over by the lathe to get a grinder on. And put my bowl blanks in the bottom and put like my chisel sharpening jigs and stuff in the drawers. And I don't know what else, but it's going to be a good addition to the shop furniture. This is okay. I appreciate you guys stopping by. I appreciate the people who voted on the what is this called? Magnolia. Like I said, I probably won't go looking for Magnolia again. But if the price is right and the piece looks cool, I'm not going to say that I'm not going to pick up another piece of Magnolia. It's a little plain for my general liking, but that's going to be a perfectly fine popcorn bowl. Yeah. All right. What degree bevel is the best for the bowl gouge? No, that's not a thing. I don't. I know Ashley Harwood uses 40. but I don't actually know what the bevel is on my bowl gouge, to be honest. There's so many, yeah. See, Jesse 1119. So it's personal preference. Like I said, I don't even know what the angle is on mine. I follow it. Whatever the guy who I bought it off of at the turning store set it to, I try to get close to that when I sharpen it. All right. I appreciate it. Thank you for the kind words. It is a perfectly adequate popcorn bowl. What the people who are here? Let's take a vote. You guys can have the first vote on what gets turned next week. What do I still have? I probably still have like a dozen bowl blanks. Oh, we gotta do the chestnut, don't we? A cup? No, I gotta get better at bowls before I can start messing around with other stuff. A cup would be fun though. I don't have any cup-sized pieces of wood, I don't think. Cup would be cool. Let's say we got the sweet chestnut, the bird's eye alder. I still have a couple of cherry ones. A beer koozie, that'd be cool. Like, just use the beer can itself to like size it. That actually is a pretty cool idea. Actually, I think you were being funny, but that actually is kind of a cool idea. No, I kind of want to see what this bird's eye alder thing is going to look like. I'll show you. Because I've never turned alder, and I've never turned anything that has the word bird's eye in it. And it's about a 2 1/2, just about 2 3/8 deep, about 10 inches across. Might as well measure that too while we're at it. Yeah, 10 by 2 and a bit. Make a nice little platter out of bird's eye alder, maybe next week. I don't know. What do you guys think? I got bird's eye alder. I got sweet chestnut. I got a couple of cherry blanks. I think I have a chunk of elm that I've never turned before. I don't know. Anything sound good to you guys? It wasn't a joke. Okay, have you ever made a beer koozie out of wood, Chris? Because I'd like to see it. Let's give you guys some actual choices. Bird's eye alder, chestnut, we'll go cherry. Okay, little cherry guy. It's like 7 inches across, 3 inches deep exactly. 7 by 3 cherry with a cool little strip of sapwood going through. 7 by 2 3/4 sweet chestnut that looks like it might have some flaming in it. Or the 10 by 2 1/2 bird's eye alder. Those are the options for next week. You guys get first vote. Pick your pick. I want to go eat. I tried once just messing with a small blank, but it ended up in the fire pit. Yep, that's what a lot of things end up in the fire pit. Chestnut. Tony Lopez says chestnut. That's 3 votes for chestnut. I appreciate Jesse1119. I appreciate you, that you're proud of me for the lathe work. It's been a hell of a roller coaster, but I am getting better. Pinnell says chestnut. That's 6 votes for chestnut. Anybody want to pick something other than chestnut? We're gonna call this a day in about 2 minutes. So get your votes in. You get 3 votes each. Then I put it up on Patreon and they get 5. And then I put it on Facebook and they each get 1. That's how this goes. Marv says chestnut too. Chestnut is probably already going to win because having 9 votes before anybody else gets a chance, it's a pretty good head start. And yeah, these are going to be Saturdays now. Chestnut, Jesse, okay, 12 for chestnut. Saturdays works better for people, does it? It seems like there's maybe a few more people here than there usually is. I did like the Friday, but then I got called back to work. And so I'm not going to feel like popping out here and being fun while there's some sycamore I'm trying to get split. I've never even touched a piece of sycamore. Sycamore is like a southern hardwood, right? Is that because I don't ever see it? I've never seen it here. Damn it, I don't think I've ever seen a piece of hickory. Did I figure out what's for dinner? How would I have figured out what's for dinner? I've been here the whole time. I'd like to see eucalyptus. Tony Lopez says he'd like to see eucalyptus. I've seen eucalyptus in board form, but nothing past 4/4. We don't see it. So it sounds like it's probably going to be chestnut next week. It's lighter than it feels like it should be. Like it doesn't feel very dense. But I can't tell if that's flaming or like plainer chatter. So we'll find out next week. I think it'll be cool. It's been outvoted for like 4 weeks in a row. So maybe I'll just say that next week is chestnut just to make it feel better. Because poor chestnut has just had a rough go of it. Even the 1 week, was it last week or the week before, when he was doing well in the voting, and then all of a sudden it just got overtaken. But that's fine. I have to turn it all eventually. It's not going to just sit here and go bad. Well, probably wouldn't go bad, but you know what I mean. Okay. You're trying to get to spalt. I didn't read that part. You're trying to get sycamore to spalt. That would be gorgeous, right? Spalted sycamore? If you get that figured out, you send me a piece of that. I want to turn something out of spalted sycamore. That'd be rad. Anyway, I'm going to call it for this one. Thanks for watching, everybody. Thanks for coming in. See you again here next Saturday. Happy Thanksgiving for my Canadian friends. Happy weekend for my American friends. I might eat some popcorn out of this in a little bit. I should probably let it cure so I don't get waxy popcorn. Yeah, okay. Maybe one night this week we'll sit down. Oh, we're doing an Avengers marathon. My kid wants to watch all of the Avengers movies in chronological order. So we started with Iron Man 1 a couple of nights ago. So he knows the order of the chronological. I don't remember what order I don't know if he wants to do in chronological order as in the story. Well, he can't because Captain America was way back. So yeah, chronological in terms of the release date, I guess, is what we're doing. So I guess that'd be Iron Man 2 next, or would it be Captain America? I don't remember, but he's got it all figured out. And I'm going to eat my popcorn out of that bowl the next one. So Thanks for watching. Any last minute things? There better be pumpkin pie after all that work. Pumpkin pie is tomorrow night. And also apple pie, because I am of the belief that there should never be pumpkin pie only. There should always, if there's going to be pumpkin pie, there should be an apple pie beside it. It's just how I feel. So you can have a piece of each. All right. Anyway, thanks. We'll see you next time. Stay happy, stay healthy, stay safe. Bye for now.